How's it going, everyone? Shayan here from Iblis Manifestations. I'm finally back from Inferno Metal Festival in Oslo, Norway, and holy fuck, this year was a hell of an edition. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you to all of you who came up whilst I was out at the festival. I had some very nice interactions with people who follow the podcast, and honestly, these never fucking get old. It's the best. And it's amazing to hear some of the feedbacks that we get on this show, because a lot of times when you're pumping out an episode every week, putting in all the work and all the hours, and granted, having very rewarding conversations with a lot of very cool fucking people, then you don't always necessarily see the feedback that come to them, so it's always nice to hear that in person and to see how that kind of shapes people's perspectives about things, or perhaps more importantly, reaffirms them. So I just wanted to say thank you all for coming up and sharing some kind words. And of course, this goes as words of encouragement. If you ever see me around, please feel free to come and say hi. Of course, the festival was killer. We got to see a lot of very cool bands this year, and a lot of course, legendary Norwegian bands, which I think, from my experience, I would say that I've come to realize that the best place to some of these bands is in Norway. I think a prime example of that probably being Satyricon, who for me, some time ago I probably wouldn't have said this, but for me they were the absolute highlight of the festival. Just the whole show that they put on, hour and a half long, solid headline set, great fucking sound, tight performance, like not a single bad note was played during that whole show. It's very impressive. I was actually very much taken aback by how good their performance was, and I did see them in Bergen the previous year as well, and they were also great there, but something about this year just kind of connected with me. There was like a layer of aggression that I feel like I hadn't seen from them for a long time, so it was a very good fucking show. And of course there were other great fucking performances as well. I could actually say the same about Abath as well. Great fucking set. Aura Noir, they never fucking fail. They always deliver 110%. I also got to see Blood Incantation for the first time. They absolutely blew the fucking roof off the place. Probably the loudest set of the whole weekend. And I got to see our good friends in Naglfar. And yeah, just tons of great shit, man. Inferno's a killer festival, as always. And solid organization. And of course, I had the honor of being a part of the two panels as well. One was Metal in the Middle East, and the other one was Let's Get Physical, which we got to discuss more the health and fitness side of things. Again, an absolute fucking honor and a treat to be a part of those. I'm very happy with how they went, and the feedback from them has been immense, really tremendous. Of course, all of you who've been following the podcast for a long time know that those are two topics very close and dear to my heart, so it was great to be able to share them, especially with very like-minded and brilliant people on the panel for both of them. It's just, for me, I'm always learning. I'm not always just talking, but I took a lot of great information and was doing those, and it certainly kind of reaffirmed my position on some things and actually made me question and think twice about some other stuff. So very, very good, very useful, very productive. So I'm sure those of you who attended the talks will probably feel very similarly about that, and I think overall it was quite inspiring, especially to bring light to some of those particular topics that you don't always come across when it comes to the context of metal in general. So what else is left? We recorded 4 podcast episodes. The first one will be out tomorrow, and let me just tell you now, whilst the podcast may not be with one of the headliners of the festival, it's going to be a big fucking episode because the band are killing it at the moment, and there's actually not a lot of interviews with them online, and especially I don't think there are any other interviews out there that kind of get deep into the woods like we do here on Iblis Manifestations. So you guys are in for a fucking treat. Not only that, we also got to record a very special episode downstairs at Nisblood Records, and that was a very fucking special one. Again, with someone who you don't always hear speak in a public situation. In fact, very rarely, with the exception of on my friend Jackie's podcast Into the Necrosphere. So yeah, there's a lot of very cool fucking stuff coming up, and this was just a very quick recap, and I just wanted to say once again, thank you to everyone who came up, but also a special thanks to everyone at the Inferno crew and the organizers for actually making this happen. I'm sure that the late Jan Martin would have been very proud of how everything went, and yeah, I've got nothing but good things to say. So stick around. We will be releasing the first episode from Inferno tomorrow, that being Wednesday, 23rd of April, as we start the Taurus season. And then after that, we're going to be releasing an episode every Wednesday. Lots of cool stuff coming up in the realm of Trivex as well. So we will be performing a couple of shows next month. I'll be at the Incineration Festival in London on Saturday the 3rd of May, and then we're going to be playing Barcelona the following Friday, the 9th of May. And that's going to be at the Winds of Agony Festival. I don't think they have a ton of tickets left, so keep an eye out for those if you want to go. They got Blasphemy and Beherit playing, so you don't want to fucking miss that. And also, the one for Incineration is already sold out, so both of those are going to be killer shows, and we're going to be playing a bunch of new stuff. One more thing, whilst I have you all here as well, I'm recently playing around with the idea of doing a Patreon for Iblis Manifestations. I've been running the podcast out of my own pocket for the better part of the last 3+ years, and it's been a regular incurring cost for me personally, quite a large one actually. If you look at it in the long run, it's quite a significant cost, and there's nothing that I've ever made back from the podcast monetarily speaking. Of course, I still very much find it rewarding to do, and I've done all of that with absolutely no complaints, because I fucking love doing this. I love connecting with you guys. I love getting the opportunity to speak to some very cool, open-minded people out there who've got unique perspectives of their own. Saying that, if you do enjoy what I do with Iblis Manifestations, I would very much appreciate it if you could at least check out the Patreon page for the channel. And then from there, you can decide whether you would like to make a regular donation or contribution to the channel, which, of course, will be put towards all of the streaming services costs that I gotta pay, all of the equipment, all of the travel that I obviously gotta make into cities for doing the in-person ones. Again, there's a lot of stuff that I just pay out of my own pocket because I love doing this. But yeah, if you guys wanted to support the channel, that's one way that you can now support the channel. So there we go. Thank you very much again, guys, for joining us. I appreciate the fuck out of all of you. Thank you for being here. And yeah, Inferno was a blast. If you ever consider going to Oslo, if you ever want to see and hear black metal in its place of origin, I would highly recommend visiting Inferno Metal Festival. And I will more than certainly be there again next year. So there we go. Look after yourself, ladies and gentlemen. New episode of Iblis Manifestations out tomorrow, and see ya.